Oh boy, here we go. Okay, like I said, continue on from the last update. Gonna move forward here, and I did find the other piece for the front here, the 1x4. Now I thought I had left attached the smaller 1x4s, are like 6 inches long. They go back to this piece, but they weren't on it. I was like, oh great. Don't tell me I gotta go cut more wood. Well, turns out no, I don't. There they are. They're there, and I already put one in over there. Now I wonder if I can match them up, because all the holes are already there for the drywall screws. Yeah, we'll see. But they're there, so I just want to do this as a for posterity. This is the beginning. This is before we start. So you got the tools out there and everything, and ready to get moving. So let's get this party started here, shall we? Oh, why is that board so bright? Okay, so I got this pretty well figured out here. The one piece I showed, I have it in, and I'll pull this other board off and just kind of show you what I'm doing, just for people that may have an inkling of interest. This is a piece I found in the garage. I didn't have a big enough piece of 3/4 ply. Man, I thought I did. I don't know where it went. I wonder if Steve stole it from me. Anyway, I did have this. I think we actually use it for shelving. It's more like particle board or something like that. But you know what? Whatever. The only issue is it actually is 3/4, where the plywood is what? I don't know, 15, 30 seconds. No, that's not right. Anyway, whatever it is, you know what I mean? It's just a little bit higher, which isn't going to be a major issue. Just a little bit, because the track's going to come here onto this, which flushes up really nice with this, and then run over there to the industry and maybe another siding. So that's going to be good. I have an idea how to fix this little gap here. That won't be a huge issue. I knew this was going to be a problem, not a problem, just the way it is. It's just the way it is. This gap here, because it was there before, because this foam was just stacked up, so I got to fix this little thing here. That's not a big deal. So this is ready to go in. Let me just hoist it out of here. Oh, it's heavy. I'll tell you what, this is not going to go anywhere. So what we have here, like I said, I probably overdid it, but I got to stop myself. Made a cleat, some supports, that supports this. Basically all I did was run 1x4s out from there. That's all it is, just support that. Again, it's not going to go anywhere. I was going to be, you know, adding all kinds of other supports. I'm like, no. I did add one here only because it's where the two boards meet. So that's there, and then I can kind of secure that nice. But it sits there nice and level. Again, I did the other ones like this. Just ran it out. Didn't go crazy. Just added another cleat behind it. Drywall screws all together. Added a little cleat here for the end of this board. The support here. Good enough. Like I said, all this is going to have... Up at this end is going to be this road, meeting this road, maybe some industry, or I mean some houses, gas station, and the road. And nothing really heavy. There's no track up there at all, so I'm not too worried about it. All right, so that's that. Just figured I'd show it. Again, it's not. I don't claim to be a layout benchwork expert, but it'll work. And especially since it's not really supporting any track. So okay, let's get it secured down and keep moving ahead here. Alright, here we are. So what I did yesterday was cut the additional, like I said, this piece of plywood here, this scrap piece that I had out in the garage, since I had the table saw out, if you call it a table saw. And I know it's dark, I'm going to try to show you the track plan here. I got the fascia pieces cut. They're just sitting there clamped up for right now, but my main thrust now was to verify that the track's going to fit. And it looks pretty good. So what I did was, in my Third Planet software, I like to print it one to one, and then come down and cut and fit, and just see how things are going to line up. Now the critical part here, you know, that turnout set, so coming across the road, which surprisingly lines up pretty good, and then to this turnout. After that, they're just sidings. As long as I get them around the building, I'll be fine. but I want this to be where I think in between, you know, underneath 1x4, so I can get in there, put the Tortoise in, all those shenanigans. And it looks pretty good. It's kind of set in the way I thought it would. It's never exact because, you know, I planned it out, I laid it out on Third Planet, then you actually build it. Well, I never go back and tweak it for as-builts, and things are off a little bit. I can tell I don't seem to have as much room as I think I do on the track plan here. So anyway, but the main thrust here is to be the S.J. Yokel Electric Manufacturing, the small appliance, small division. And that's kind of sitting pretty much exactly how I thought it would. That's how it's going to be, and I did extend it back this way. I didn't bring the crane over, but the crane will sit back here. I will have to do some terraforming here on the foam. The building's cocked a little bit because right here the foam starts. So that's okay. I'll just take that down so it all sits nice and flush. And I wanted to verify that the track's going to be okay. So you can see how it kind of looks. And again, it's not super critical after that turnout. These are all drawn as soft track easements so they can be adjusted. And it's just a siding. You know, I'm not laying out the Northeast Corridor or track for the TGV or something like that. It's just, it's a siding. So as long as I get into this, that's fine. And then I will mark the center line of it because I'm not sure if I'm going to lay cork in here yet or exactly what I'm going to do. I don't have a lot of cork, so I don't have many options. Anyway, and then I did want to verify on the back side here that the proposed loading area fits, and it looks like it does. So overall, make it a little bit lighter, but then the track's going to start to blow out. But all right, so that's that. And then, like I said, the other things that I need to figure out is what to do up here. Ooh, that's really white, isn't it? Let me see if I can get down. Okay. I may paint this just because it annoys me being so white. This comes up, going to tie in there. This is the rough outline of the Gilmore kit that I built from Laser 3 Modeling. It may go okay there. I'm not sure. Again, I want to get this down, get the track in, and then I can play around. The only thing that's definite that I know has to be set is that. And that looks like it's going to be fine. Everything else is kind of adjustable on the fly as I get the track down. So I want to get the track in and then do some terraforming up there for the far end of the building so it's not cocked at an angle like that. And another thing I may do, I'm just going to mention this because I'm such a glutton for punishment. Let me lighten this up just a little bit. That signal bridge may actually come out, and I may add another New York Central signal bridge that I got from, oh, the name's escaping me. Oh, come on now. Anyway, he's built all my signals. Because of the addition of this crossover, and I know it's not in the right position, but it is what it is. This really should be interlocked, or because those signals are just intermediate, just one head, red, yellow, green. Well, if you're coming up on the inside track here, you can cross over. So really, you should have a two-head signal there. You know, the top head gives you the straight, and the bottom gives you the diverging. So I may do it. I have another signal bridge. I don't know what I'll do with that one. I really have nowhere else to put it. But it would be more accurate. Now, on this track, coming this way, it could be a signal head. It's just, you go straight. That's all you can do. Either stop because the turnout's against you, or you go straight. Then over here, I may add 2 more Tomar signals. Again, same thing. On the inside track going west, all you can do is go straight. However, on this track, you could cross over. So this signal on this track really should have 2 heads. So I'm thinking about it. That will complicate my life in terms of the CMRI outputs, because I don't have enough on the board that sits roughly over here underneath Wallace Junction So if I do that, I'm going to probably have to run wires all the way up, all the way around, follow the bouncing finger, all the way back to the board that's under Eugene. It's doable. It's just a bit of a pain in the rear, but okay. Onward and upward here. Let's get this track installed and see how things look then. Alrighty, we're cooking with gas now. So what I did was I remembered I had a leftover piece of corprine. It actually isn't cork, it's corprine. It's actually, I think I mentioned this before, I got it from when I was on a transformer job. It's actually transformer gasket material. It's a little bit denser than cork, but it's very similar. It's, you know, corprine. So, but it's good. I had a big sheet of it. So here's what I did. You can kind of see. I cut it out, kind of fit it in. And what's nice about it is it's almost a perfect level match. I'm not a very lucky guy, but every now and then I get lucky with the foam. So I won't have to terraform over here. Maybe just a little bit of sanding. It's going to match up real nice. I need a notch little corner here for this. And then that gets everything on the same level. The track, the building, everything's nice and level. And then this piece comes up to here. Now here is going to have to be a transition. That's okay. We'll do that. That's just going to be, you know, a road coming in. Not a big deal. I can make that work with other stuff that I have. Then this is kind of all fit together. There's some kind of wonky joints, but it won't matter. And once I get some joint compound in there, it'll look fine. Nice flat area here for the turnout. This is cut like that because that's the way the sheet was. I probably would have liked to bring it straight, but anyway. And then a little transition piece here. So the transition, which is about, man, it's not even a 1/16 of an inch. It'll be here in the crossing, which I think will be okay, because here's the piece of twack that I have, and from the turnout, it's going to fit like that. So the transition will be in here. I think I sand it, mud it up a little bit. It's going to be fine. It's not even going to be a big deal. I probably wouldn't even really have to be honest, but I will, just because that's the kind of guy I am. Okay, so that is looking good. I'm happy with that. So now what I got to do is get out the huge bottle of wood glue, tight bond, glue that corprine sheet down, weight it up for a while with like every single weight that I have, but then that's down and then I can get the track down. So alright, making progress. Let's keep forging ahead here on the south side of Lake City. A little bit of weight, anybody? Like I said, literally every weight that I have is on there now, so I got it all down. Even the Elmer's glue is getting into the act. So now it's time to, I don't know, go upstairs and maybe have some breakfast and wait for this to dry up. Shouldn't be too bad. Nice and flat, so it shouldn't be a big issue. Funny though, I did literally totally run out of tight bond. I was like, you got to be kidding me. And this bottle had about, you know, this much in it. I had enough, just enough. But note to self, go buy some more tight bond, because I was really, really down to the nitty gritty on that. I probably could have thrown some Elmer's glue down. That probably would have been okay, or some caulk or so. Anyway, but okay. So let that dry up for a while, and then get the mark on there. Get the marks on there for the track. Okay, little in progresso action here. So as you can see, dun, da, 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 I did use that corprine. It's all nice and down. It's good. And I have the track in. Everything's in. I did not glue it. I went with some rail nails. That way, if I never need to change anything, it isn't that big a deal. But everything's nice and lined up. The Tortoise is in. Works good. It's one of the easiest or least troublesome Tortoise installations I've done in a long time, and I hope it's my last one. He says. You can see I have the frog power wire just pulled up through there. I didn't do the feeders yet. I still need to get the soldering iron out and do some soldering. and whatnot. And I need to cut one gap up here for the power, but not a big deal. And then it's down. Give it a test and see how she runs. I did add a little piece here, not a big deal. I just painted by hand. The other two pieces, these are Pico coated E3s. I took them out in the garage and just spray painted them. This here is a leftover piece of my industrial spur microengineering track. And then I'm going to, oh, I love these. These are little Ellis bumper here from Shapeways. They're very, very well done. I really like them. So I got to paint that up, and that'll be there at the end of the side ink. And I set it up so the 50-foot flat can fit here and be loaded by the cranes. That's the one thing I wanted to do. I knew I was going to be sneaking back toward this embankment here, but it all fit. So everything is looking pretty nice. Seems to run pretty smooth. Look at that nice view of the, and it's just a siding, so I'm not really sure it's that big a deal, but anyway. Alright, nice fun evening here getting this down. And now it's time to keep moving ahead, get everything wired up and give it a test run. That'll be next. Yeah, here we are doing some testing. Just want to make sure the polarity is correct. I have no screaming short circuits, and so far seems good. I still need to clean the track, that's for damn sure. But I did just want to verify that everything's alright. I got my Pensy RS11 here helping out. I did have an issue. It hit the throw bar coming up through here. I had to trim that. So that was a little bit high. I was surprised, but it was. So if we go drone in here. Oh, sorry, way too fast. Not trying to cause nausea. But so far, everything seems to be working okay. Okay. So far so good. Alright, and another thing I had to do, I brought this RS11 over from Wallace Junction, which is now hidden there on the other side of the trees. And I came into this turnout and it stalled. I'm like yelling and screaming and swearing. What's wrong? What did I do wrong? Is the frog juice? Did I forget a feeder? No, the turnout's filthy. So yeah, you got to clean your track after you install it and ballast it and touch up paint it, and otherwise the locos, they no run. So that got a little bit of a cleaning, and that's back in operation, and it ran fine. I still need to come in and do a real good clean. This whole area really needs a good cleaning, but everything seems to be good. No derailments, no like I said, my main goal here was just to verify there's no shorts across the various joints. Now I'll do something. I'm going to come in here. This is not powered yet, so I'm going to reach underneath it carefully. Give that a throw literally by hand. And come on back just to make sure this track works okay. Although it does, I know it does. I also had an issue as he comes into a live track with a metal tool. With this frog was out of gauge. I had to do a little bit of filing because that Central Soya car, when I was rolling, it was really bouncing pretty bad. And then I got my handy dandy NMRA gauge, which I've always like, oh, you don't need one. No, you do need one. And it was a little bit tight across. This side was okay. This one here was tight, so I just a little bit of. Oh, well, now where am I here? I'm babbling and not watching my train. Alright. Okay, we're good. So, I had to come in with the with the gauge, check the flange ways. I won't do it now because I'm energized, or power's on, and it was tight. This flange way was a little bit tight, so I just touched up a little bit, but the dimension here was good. Here was not. It was definitely tight. So I think it was coming in riding a little bit. So I just came in with a little bit of file action and cleaned it up, and now it's nice and smooth like a baby's bottom. Alright, so that's good. So now what I'm going to do, I need to get that to a switch. I need to get that hooked up. I need to get that to a switch out here on the fascia. Now that I have that pretty much ready to be installed, I have an idea how I'm going to do all that. I think what I'm going to do, once I get him out in the main line here. Alright, I'm going to come in here, and I have a little piece of track I might put in here, just to, and bury it and kind of maybe just let the rail show a little bit. It's like the track used to come across here, and that's why this crossing's back so far. Anyway, and then I think I'm going to put some forms up and just come in here with some more smooth it, and just smooth it the heck out of this right over the track. Then come in and, you know, I'll clear out the flangeway. So this one will be the spur will kind of be just kind of cut into the road. Now I say that I may try to come in here and put some timbers in. I don't know, but I don't have any smooth it, so I had to order some. So it's coming. So I got a couple days to think about that. But overall, it's looking pretty good. Now that turnout out there, I'm reaching underneath the fascia here to find the switch, which I don't know where I put it. Oh, that's a Tortoise. Okay, come over here with me. Oh, here it is. So, alright, so that throws that. Then we can head back. Whoa! Easy there, rugged. And again, this track really needs to be cleaned. I might have some debris laying around too, but okay, so at least that works. Good to go. I'm going to bring him over here and park him. He can go in the station, have a coffee with his buddy. And all this track is not glued down, I just spiked it down. So, that's the way it's going to be. Park him there. Yeah, have a good night. So then I also, I guess I'm going to replace that signal bridge. Add 2 more Tomar signals here. I can do it. I figured it out. I have enough capacity, inputs, outputs with the Samurai boards. I will have to run probably 2 signal heads back over to, well, it'd be 2 complete signals over to Eugene, but that way I can really more properly have this set up as an interlocking. So, okay, onward and upward. At least it all works, and once you clean the track, it runs pretty well. Alright, more to come. Alright, here we go. Trying to avoid paralysis by analysis, but I'm getting them ready to, you know, get the building set in here on the wrong side of the tracks here in Lake City, and just kind of playing around thinking how I want to do this. And of course I don't know what I want to do yet. What I do know is obviously the S.J. Yokel building, that goes there. That's pretty much set. That's why I kind of did all this, scratch built it, all that kind of fun stuff. Okay, so the rest of the area, I'm trying to make it look like, alright, so this is the, you know, kind of that complex. I want to have a parking lot here. I'll show you the access road. I want the access road to kind of come in, parking lot, be able to go around the building to get to the dock. Because it seems silly that you wouldn't be able to have trucks come in and load and unload, especially as things got into the 50s, late 50s, 60s, etc. I built a couple other buildings I'd like to try to use. That's the Tichy small water tower. Okay, I love Tichy kits. Man, they are a pain in the rear to build, so since I struggled through that, I really want to use it. So next to it is a small little Monster Model Works shed. Just I think it's I forget the prototype, but it looks kind of good though. Okay, it's just another little, you know, auxiliary building, part of the complex. This building I like. That is actually the Pottery Mill That is out of the South River Model Works kit. Let me just kind of do a quick pan. Many, many miles away over to Fairview. But out of the South River kit, that little brick building was part of this. Now, I knew I wasn't going to use it here. I just wanted the main building and the coal silo. But I liked it. I paid for it, right? So you might as well build it. So to me, it kind of looks like, all right, that was part of this complex. Maybe initially it was this part and this part. They expanded it to the higher bay. This then becomes overflow, storage, etc., etc. Just a nice looking, cool looking brick building, so I wanted to use that. Alright, I wanted to try to keep, just because of all the work I did on the darn station, I didn't want to put too much in here, so I want to kind of keep it open. Now this will be, you know, detailed and storage and, you know, some stuff will be there, but I want to be able to see the station. I figured, you know, the station, the park, that's, you want to be able to see that, so, and we're standing about how you're going to view it from the aisle. So this is kind of how things would actually physically look. Alright, so continuing our tour. I'd really like to use this kit here. It doesn't exactly fit the way I wanted it because of the way it lays out. This is the side that loads the track, that loads the rail car. This is kind of where, you know, folks would come in, pick up their goods. They can load grain out of here, pick up, you know, different farm implements and bags of goodies and whatnot. So I kind of like this building. Again, I spent a lot of time building it. It's kind of an odd angle, but that's the way it is. I mean, this is in Lakeview, New York. I think off an Erie Railroad branch or something like that. And that is the way it kind of sits at an odd angle to the road, which on the prototype kind of goes this way, and the rail line does go like that, dead ends. And then off the road, you can come in here. Mine is a little bit different because obviously my road's over here. But I'm thinking, you know, this road comes up to here, intersect. No, it's super white because I got the. Let me see if I can just mitigate that a little bit. It's going to match up with this road. You can come in here, access here for folks to pick up stuff, access here. Kind of leave this area. Maybe a small platform where they can unload tractors. It'd be kind of neat to have, you know, tractors and farm implements stored in here. So this, again, it comes off here. This will probably be a road. It'll be paved, a little smaller road, but paved. Across here, parking lot here, and then kind of switch to gravel to go around the back where the trucks go. So you have a parking lot, truck access, all coming up here. Access here for the town folk to gather their goodies. Out to here. This road comes up to here. Ties in with this road coming up here. And then as you can see on this side, I have placed, I'd like to use that hotel again, because I built the darn thing. It's all interior detailed and has lights and everything. I'd really like to use it. I might have to take the reading off of it. Okay. But it's a hotel. And those are kind of typical back in this era. Well, actually from kind of earlier eras. You have a hotel somewhat near the station. You know, for folks that get off, they can kind of trundle along here and stay overnight or whatever before they continue the travels and get a meal. Some other houses. I do have a small, oh there it is, gas station. I don't know, I'd like to use it, but it might be too much of a jam if I try to jam it in here. I thought maybe in this corner, come up here, and that's where it comes up. You have a gas station, but I don't want to, you know, force it in, because you have to have the pumps and the sign, and I mean, it may work. It's a small station. It's, you know, from that era, there were smaller gas stations, so that may work okay. Then come up the hill, just have a couple houses sitting here. This is kind of the end of town as you get over to the railroad tracks. But then there is one house on the other side of the tracks, so I figured a little bit of a residential area here. And again, now this kit is a Craftsman kit that I built. These two are, oh, I don't know what they are. Bachman, Lifelike, I forget. I mean, obviously they need some work. They're a little bit way too clean and pretty looking right now, but that can be addressed. So like I said, I don't know if I take this little house out, put it on my cell phone, and then this is the, you know, can I sit that in there without it looking too forced. Because I want to have access back here, because there's the coal bins. There's a little driveway for them to get back there and unload coal. You know, is that too forced to come up here? Because, you know, I mean, it's going to be off the road a little bit. Because you need room to come into the gas pumps. Not that there were huge gas stations like Sheetz and Country Fairs and 7-Elevens and Quick Fills are nowadays, but still, you don't want to be too forced in it, so I don't know if that'll work. I thought about trying to put it over here, but no, I would much rather use that building, given all the darn effort I put into it. But so I don't know. I mean, this could also just be that house. It's fine, and there could be a gas station on this side of the street. I just don't model it. But again, I built that. Wouldn't mind using it if I could find a home for it that makes sense. So, still thinking. Again, you can see I have a thought for how to bring this road up and just form the foam to kind of bring the road up to level. With this, I'll have to do some work with the foundations and getting things set and level. But I think overall, that may look... Again, so I'm going to kind of back up, and this is, again, not set in stone. This is just what I'm thinking right now for the front part here of Lake City. So, all right. Oh, let me noodle around some more and see what I can dream up. I did put some, I have the turnouts wired up, and this is just some paper that I put there. So you can see they're all curling up, but that's how I want to mark them. They're just simple tortoises with a toggle switch to throw them, that's all. So, alright, so coming together. Just need to do a little more thinking how I want to make this look before I actually finally set things in place. So, all the decisions we have to make as model railroaders. Alright, more to come. Okay, a little more in progress here, and basically that whole last segment about what I'm thinking about is probably not going to happen. So why did I leave a 7-minute segment in there? You can see the thought process of how a deranged mind works. So what I decided to do over here, went out for Veterans Day with my wife for dinner, swung by a couple craft stores, and I picked up some of this craft foam. It's nice. I bought it in 5mm, 6mm thicknesses. It's nice. It's relatively, you know, firm. And it leveled things off real nice. I was a little concerned as I started to place buildings around. I was like, you know, it was kind of sloping down, and I had some mucky plaster trying to level. It just didn't work. So I ripped out all the plaster that I had put in on the edges, and this stuff cozied up nice. Did a little bit of spackle to smooth any gaps, and you can see what it looks like here. So now I have a nice, relatively even surface for everything, which helped that building because that was kind of teetering. So I think that's going to go there. And then I came over here, did it here as well. What I'm going to put here, I know I showed the last segment with all the houses and everything, but I still would like to get the hotel in. And then I saw a really nice looking 1950s era gas station, and I just love those. And I want to do it, so I bought the kit. So I broke down, I bought the kit. I'll have more about it when it comes in. It's not the smaller version, which I have here, which is this one. But roughly, it's slightly larger, a little more detailed, a little more of a Craftsman kit. That's going to sit right there, so that, you know, this road will come up. Again, this road will match. This will be the area for the gas station, kind of right there in the corner. It's got gas pumps that are lit, and it's all 50s era. It's really, really a sharp looking kit. So I'm looking forward to building it and then getting it really super detailed and installed, because it's right in the front, so it's a perfect location for it. And I can set it back. It's low enough. I don't think any air and elbows will get into it, so it just seems to work out nice. Back in here, so what I did here, I struggled a bit, to be honest, how to get this road up to this level. I went out to my local hardware store, bought some wedges, as you can see here. So now what I'm going to do, I'll use the Woodland Scenic Smooth It. I think that's fine. It'll work okay. I could switch over to craft foam. Maybe I'll lay that in there and see what it looks like, but I don't mind the Smooth It. It actually is pretty nice. So this is going to come up here. I'll put the forms on the side, bring it up. For now, I'll probably just do the road, match it here, intersection here. It continues this way into the main part of town. Drop another little access road over in here. It's going to go over to the parking lot and then around the back for the trucks. That'll be gravel, but so that's what I think I'm going to do. That I'm going to use that there. The other outbuildings that I showed back in this area probably will be pretty much the same. I might fiddle with things like I always do, but the major change from the last segment is just what I'm going to do here. I'm not going to put houses. It's going to be a gas station. I have a real cool, well, to me, again, so the old track used to come across here. Whatever was there was torn down years ago. The hotel went in, but there's going to be an abandoned storage type warehouse sitting here, slated for demolition, as the town is kind of going through a little bit of a, renewal. So that's going to sit right there. It's a kit I had. It's a European type kit by MBZ, Thomas Oswald, but it's a nice looking kit. And I got it, so I'm going to build it. No sense not using it. So that's going to sit in here and kind of be forlorn and abandoned and ready to come down. So I think I can still do that and get the hotel here, the gas station, forlorn poor thing here. And I got a little retaining wall I put in there for the slope. I got to do a little bit of remedial work along here, but that's not an issue. I'll be able to work that in just fine. So that's the plan right now. And I'm just wondering if I should do some more in here. I hate to tear that up because I like the way that looks. I'm just thinking like the old, whatever building was there before. Do I want to add some foundation? Just some real leftover basic stuff from, yep, there used to be a building there, was torn down. And that, in fact, this is kind of where the track used to be. Now it's just a path where people walk. But anyway, so I'm babbling. So that's kind of a change from the previous segment. The roads are pretty much the same. New gas station here, a shed there. I still would like to get the hotel there. And then the other side, the industrial side, pretty much the same. That there, nice and level, road back, and some of the other buildings and water towers and whatnot. So this is moving along relatively nicely. I have fits and starts and stops and redos and what I'm going to... That's the way I work. So, all right, more to come, and who knows, it might change again by the next segment, but we'll see. All right, it's a quick segment here. Well, nothing to do, it's quick. The the replacement 2-track signal bridge is in, and I got the scenery around it, and then added another little battery box on the south side here. So that's in, and it's not hooked up yet underneath, but that shouldn't be that difficult to do. That's always a pain, but we'll get to that. And then, so this whole section now has been basically from here up by the station through the crossover, pardon me as I walk slowly here, up to here. There's the other signal right there. Boop. All right, so that's, I decided to make that their own blocks. So I added 2 more blocks, which I had plenty of. When I reconfigured things, I had extra detectors and whatnot, so that's now detected. This crossover is still a manual crossover thrown by the operator in the station, just by this switch out here where my label is starting to get destroyed. But I do want to have, turnout position back to the computer, and then the ability to control these signals. So that's just what I'm going to do. It's not perfect, but I think it's a little better than it was, just a turnout sitting there with no feedback, no detection at all. So, and the signals will be a little bit different how they not different, but because of the fact that I didn't really feel like running wires all the way back to the other board, which is way back there in the dark. The signals here for the one track where it doesn't cross over, just the top head will be used, red, yellow, green. The bottom will always be red. I know I could display a restricting, but I don't think I'm ever going to need to. The other signal where you could cross over, what I'm going to do to use the outputs that I already have, and I'll have to do a lot of reconfiguring. The top head I'll use red, yellow, green. The bottom head I'll use the yellow and red. So I can display, you know, if he's going to cross over, I can display, you know, red over yellow, red over flashing yellow, which, you know what, for here, it's fine. It saves me so much hassle and having to run CMRI output lines back to a whole nother board. So I'm going to do that for this, for the one head here, it'll be on the inside track where it crosses over. And similar out here, the signal's not in yet on the outboard track because I don't want to break anything. So, alright, so that's all done, rewired, reconfigured. I tested it last night with my buddy, the RS11. Everything works well, no polarity issues. So that's now in and blocked and detected and ready for the final signaling. Oh boy, here we go. Alright, so I got things prepared here for the civil engineering projects. So I have the road, I said, coming out from here, and this is just some of that paving tape, which you don't have to use. I had it, so I figured, well, I might as well use it. I spent the money on it. That's going to go to this intersection, and again, it continues a little bit. There's a little bit of a dam there, so I don't go pouring stuff onto the floor. And this road comes around here, and what I'm going to do for this session is bring it up to this crossing. I do have actually a Woodland Scenics wood crossing. It's not the greatest, but it'll look okay. I painted it a little better color. I can always come back in and weather it, so I'll be able to stop there. I may eventually continue with the paved road around. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to wait and see on that one. And then over here, it goes down to match up with the road down there. So, hopefully I have enough. Oh, the other thing I'm going to do, I did kind of situate the hotel where I want to put it. And as you can see, based on the dam work here, not dam, it's just as in, you know what I mean. This, it's going to sit right, basically right in here. So this is all out of kind of wampus. So since I'm making up some plaster, I said, oh, okay, fine. I'll see if I can get it in here, you know, back in here, and try to get that nice and level. Behind the hotel, I did clean out some of this field here for a little bit of, you know, barrels and just whatever stuff behind the hotel. I didn't think that this would come right to the back of the hotel. You know, a path coming around or something. And so I got that out. This stuff, by the way, this is the teddy bear fur. That's some strong stuff, man. I had to actually get in there with this and, oh yeah, and actually give it a little bit of a haircut. All right, anyway, so that was fun. So that's there. I'll get the hotel in there, and I can kind of fiddle around by there. This stuff sands pretty good. So if I get it close, I probably can put another thin piece of this foam. I have a couple 1mm, 2mm pieces. I might get it. It doesn't have to be perfectly level, because once the building's in and I do the scenery, you're not really going to know. But right now it would really be pretty bad. All right, so here we go. Got to mix up a batch. I'm going to go. I'm going to try with 1.5 cups. It's 2-to-1 mixture. I hope that's enough. Although it doesn't really have to go real thick for sure. It's really not that thick. You know, you want to get the just right amount, because you don't want too much, and then you waste it. But you don't want to stop and be like, you know, 3/4 through and be like, uh-oh. Well, I guess you make another batch, but I want to get it all done at one time. Because the one thing that's kind of nice, if I do this right, again, with the plaster, as opposed to using the sheets of the foam, you have much less joints. Because you can make it all continuous if I screed it properly and get it nice and smooth and level, hopefully. Okay, welcome back. Here we are. The road is setting. It's been about an hour. I just pulled the paving tape off, and now the thing you need to do is walk away. It's so tempting now to want to come in and fiddle with it and look at it and, oh, I have an issue, and then just walk away. Let it set up, let it dry. You can fix things, you can sand it, you're going to paint it, all kinds of stuff later. Don't do it now, because otherwise you're going to mess it up. So, I think it went okay. It's not perfect, but then So I don't know if I can show it because of the f-stop. But if I make it a little bit darker, it might show up. There's an issue right there. But then, you know, imagine that. Hey, a Pennsylvania road with an issue? No. Never. Yeah, there's... This probably looks better than 85% of all Pennsylvania roads. That's okay. I'm going to let it set. Go back to the bench, work on the kit for here. And then come back tomorrow. Still more cleanup to do, but I think so far... oh, I'm getting really hoarse and my lung condition's acting up. Yeah, I was inhaling plaster. Actually, it wasn't very friable, but anyway, so I'm up here to this crossing. Get the rest of that in. I have enough left over to figure out if I want to do the rest in this or with the craft foam. Not sure yet, but okay. So again, I'm gonna let it sit, walk away, turn the lights off, and then come back tomorrow. Otherwise, it's just too risky. I still want to fiddle with it, but no fiddling allowed. Okay. You know me, I can't shut up. So a quick bonus segment, and I promise this is really the last one, then I'll post it. But I did decide this morning to come in here and just finish this road off. And, you know, I was up to the crossing. I put the rest of the crossing in. Went across the road. Went across the tracks. Went across these tracks, and I'll have to clear that out. I know. Single lane road up here, and decided to give it a whirl to go ahead and just do this whole parking lot, the truck area up here in with the schmooth it. Now I'm almost out of schmooth it, so this is about it, but I think it would be okay. It's not perfect. I know there's some divots and potholes and stuff in that. It's like, but you know what, that's kind of the way I think an industrial parking lot would be, so I think I can make it look acceptable. So that is really, I'm done. I know this video has been, what's it going to be, 55 minutes? Less than an hour, I hope, of real babbling and just really not much to show other than some plaster and thinking about what I want to do over here. But, oh, I did run low on, when I was done, I did have some leftover smooth it. I hate to waste it, so I said, I'll make some boulders or something. I don't know. Whether I'll ever use them or not, I have no idea. And then just to wrap up over here, again, this is still setting. I'm going to let it go for probably another day or two, just to be safe. It did kind of let the area here for the hotels pretty good. Not great, but I think once I sand it, it'll be fine. And it's probably hard to see, but I did come in with some sculpt the mold to kind of smooth out various areas. And then down here at the end of this retaining wall, that's been sculpt molded to kind of blend in there, so doing well. So now it's back to making this kit, which is, man, a lot of fun. Let this set up. Then again, what we'll do is we'll come in here, sand it, paint it, and then get ready to put the buildings in for real. So okay, so I promise, last segment, no more. This is it. I'm going to post it, and then I'm not even going to put pictures up because I don't really have a whole lot to show. So it's just, you know, a road. It's just a white road. That's all it is right now. Next time will be more to see. All right, I'm going to shut up, get this posted, more to come. I know it's kind of a dry video, but hey, I'm just showing you what I'm doing and the thought process for those that may be interested. Those that aren't, no issue, man. Have a great day. Okay, thanks. Let me get this posted, and the next video, which I'll start filming right after this one, will be getting the actual buildings in place and making this look like a real finished area. All right, more to come.